brand new album is called Never Been Better. Is that a shout out to his life right now?
So this little bitty came out. And it's very successful. So I want to talk to you about Never Been Better. Does this reign true for your life right now? Have things never been better?
I think so. For life in general, for me, has been a really great 6 years since X Factor to now. So I've had a really great time, loving life, loving work.
Yep.
So I had a good time to reflect on everything when I was writing this album. For the first time ever in my career, I had time to write it.
Yep.
And I just, I looked around at my life and thought, I'm doing all right. Can't complain.
All you have to say is,
Olly Murs worked with Demi Lovato on the track called Up, but apparently all he could do was stare in her eyes.
Well, the song Up with Demi Lovato is fantastic.
Thank you.
And you guys kind of have this natural chemistry. So what's one thing from working with Demi that you learned about her?
I think I was surprised of how incredible her voice actually is. Like, it sounds amazing on her records, but to actually hear her standing next to me singing was like, oh my God.
Like in
so I think that was probably the
yeah.
biggest, not even a big surprise, it was just like, I knew she could sing and she was amazing, but then when someone's actually sat next to you singing, it's like, oh, well, and her eyes, beautiful eyes,
I know.
sensational eyes. So she was just, across the board, she was just super.
time and time again, we're going back to the start.
Why did Robbie Williams compare Olly Murs to Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., and Dean Martin?
You describe yourself as an old-fashioned entertainer.
Yeah.
So what's so old-fashioned about you?
I think me and Robbie Williams were talking about this when we was on tour. We were just saying that there's not many entertainers now that go up on stage and just get the crowd involved and get them on their feet and get them to dance. You know, it's a very old school way of doing it. You know, look at the likes of the way that the Rat Pack were, and you know, they were so entertaining to watch in performers. I think me and Robbie are in that, you know, are in that category of we're fun, cheeky, fun entertainers, and we don't necessarily do all the choreographed moves, but we.
You can dance though. I've seen you.
We have some moves.
Yeah.
We just have a good time on stage, and I'm an old-fashioned entertainer. I think that just gets up on stage, has a good time, and hopefully everyone enjoys it with me.
I kinda like it when you bring me to my knees.
Olly Murs had one of the best Instagram pics ever. But how the heck did he get Niall, Sam, and Demi all in the same room?
I creeped your Instagram.
Cool.
I found this photo. What is going on in this picture?
Tom's is a company in the UK, and they sent me a Christmas jumper for 4 people. So 4 of you get in this Christmas jumper. You could do a 4-way Christmas hug. I was in the dressing room at X Factor, 1D were performing, I was performing with Demi, and obviously Sam Smith was there. So I just said, guys, I've got a 4-way jumper, do you want to jump in? They jumped in.
See, it
was hard to kind of get everyone at the right time, because when you're backstage at a gig and doing it, you know, X Factor, everyone's in their own little world. It was just trying to get everyone there at once. But it was like the my most performed Instagram picture ever.
Like,
I mean, woo!
Thanks, guys.
Cheers,
Thanks for coming
guys.
out.
Thanks for the pic.
You got the lock, I got the key.
It's always fun interviewing musicians, but this time the script got switched, and Olly was the one asking all the questions.
Say you had that jumper, and you could pick any 3 artists in the world. You can't include me, because I'm sat next to you. Who would you have and why?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Because it's Beyonce.
Yep.
Gwen Stefani, because she's my dream.
Can tell, loving it.
Oh my gosh, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, yes. I'm sure Harry would love this mix of
2 blondes, Beyonce and Harry.
2 blondes and Beyonce and Harry. I want to see that picture.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to try and perform that. That's going to be my new life goal.
You know what you can do? You can get a picture with it in that jumper, and then you can split pick it. So
Perfect.
you can put them in.
Well,
I'm thinking of you.
I really respect it. And you know what? You can call up Harry
right now. If I see
now.
Harry, I'm going to get the same jumper. I'm going to get Harry, just
Harry,
picture this jumper.
You know what? You probably have a better way of getting all 3 of those people in a room, so I'm going to leave this in your hands.
If I sound rude, but I love the way that you move.
Olly Murs is a superstar in the UK, but does he care about making it big in North America?
There's always been this kind of pressure for British artists to break it in North America. How important is it for you as an artist?
It's not like the most important thing, but it'd be amazing to get your music to reach as far as it can possibly go. I'll travel as far as I can go to promote it, and you can't force people to like you. You can't force people to like your music. Fingers crossed, you know, I'm still looking for that #1 in Canada, and still want to do well here. So I will never forget Canada for the first time I ever set over here for the first show of One Direction's tour. I remember walking to stage in Toronto and hearing my name being chanted, and to hear my name being chanted as I walked to stage was a pretty amazing feeling. So
Canada loves you. I think
It's a really good
safe to
country,
say,
and I really hope we can continue the success here and keep doing well.
Olly Murs is quite the penny pincher, so when he spends his cash, it has to be on something redonkulous, right?
And you don't just blow through your money like some performers.
Yeah.
I want to know, what is the most ridiculous thing you've bought?
I think the best present I've ever spent on, which was a lot of money, was a trip for my nan and granddad and my mum and dad. I paid for this trip for them to go to 4 days in Graceland and 4 days in Vegas. And she's, in her 70s, she wouldn't want me to tell you that. And she's never been, and she's a big Elvis fan, so she went to Graceland, saw Elvis's grave. And then, obviously, she went to Vegas and she had like a bit of a, she loves fruit machines and the gambling, and it cost me a lot of money, but it was something that I'm very proud of. I always promised my nan from a very young age that one day I would love to pay for her to go to Vegas.
Cool.
And she went and did it, and she loved it, so.
That sounds, I want to go to Vegas with your nan. Sounds great.
Olly Murs is an accomplished songwriter, but when he works with others, does he flip out or is he cool as a cucumber?
On this album, you wrote with a lot of strong songwriters. So what's one key lesson you've learned in the songwriting room?
Don't be afraid to speak up. Collectively in a room, I can't be the one saying, no, I want it like this, I want it like this. I think as a team, I go in with a couple of guys that write with me and producer, there's like 3 of us in a room, and we're doing it together. So if I think that this lyric might be the best lyric, then say it. Don't sit there and go, no, you know what, it's probably rubbish.
Right.
And also collectively listen to the people around me, that I've got a producer in the room and another co-writer, that this is their job, this is what they do every day. So you've also got to listen to them. So it's a collective team. I'm not an artist that is like, what I say goes. What I say is what the song's going to be. I like to have a team. I like to feel like we've done it together.
Olly Murs got to work with 80s punk icon Paul Weller on the track Let Me In, which was awesome in itself. But it was how Paul made Olly feel that was the most important.
One of my favorite songs on the album is Let Me In, which features Paul Weller. I think there's something so, it's like stripped down, kind of throwback tune. So how did he inspire you?
He's inspired me all my life, really. Him writing with me was like incredible, but also just, he really gave me a lot of confidence in my songwriting ability. When I went with Paul Weller, all them doubts and all them things that were going through my mind about my songwriting ability completely left. And I sort of walked out of the studio like, I'm a songwriter now. Like, because when you write for someone as great as him, it just gives you that belief. I've wrote with so many people. We've wrote some amazing songs together, and they're probably feeling like really like, oh, cheers.
Yeah.
But when I walked out of a meeting with him, writing with him, it was very special.
Hey, we're With Harmony. For more exclusive performances and interviews, click here to subscribe to the official Much YouTube channel. Love you.